Chief Dr. Vinicius, no, before you come, you had something to add to this.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Leo. Let me quickly ask something about what is wrong with the SDO's outing. When you look at the SDO's press release, the SDO never even, we don't even know to who the SDO is addressing that letter. It is like he is addressing it to his hierarchy. No. And not even to the ISU people.
No, it says the senior divisional officers for Menchum hereby reminds the ISU Traditional Council and the general public of ISU village.
Yes, if he's addressing to the ISU people, the chairman of the ISU council, the ISU Traditional Council, who is presently the one administratively managing the affairs of the kingdom as of now, and working hand in glove with the administration, could have been the first person to be addressed that letter to be copied, and not the last. So the SDO, in fact, we don't really know what the SDO thinks. We don't actually know what is happening, what is making the SDO to behave the way he has behaved. He is working hand in glove with the current administration in ISU, the local current administration in ISU. He has not called them so that they can sit and talk it out. Our phone was brutally assassinated. The same SDO has not told us what happened with our phone. The SDO invited our phone to go and coronate the phone of Way, and the SDO was present. Our phone asks for security personnel so that they can take him to Way and back. They complained that the security personnel were not enough. When our phone was assassinated, till date, we have not gotten a clear answer to what happened to our phone.
Okay.
We have 2 military barracks in ISU. Our phone was assassinated. The military were in ISU, yet they were not on the scene.
Okay.
The same neighboring village where the phone left from coronating another phone, there is a military barrack there, yet they never went down to go and intervene. What is happening, or what happened to our phone? Let the SDO tell us what happened to our phone before we even start thinking of whether there shall ever be a phone. Thank you.
Okay, warm greetings, Mr. Liu, and a special salute to all those who are on set with you. Thank you for the topic presented on air this evening. My family and I are directly following the program because it involves tradition. Thank you. Prince Akama Williams, Aka the King of the Mic. You're watching from Kang Barombi in Kumba. Glad to know that you're watching the program. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Extend my greetings to all the panelists in the studio. I think the people of ISU should continue with the process of the enthronement and forget about the senior divisional officer, because he knows nothing about the culture and tradition, so he has no right to tell them what to do. Shea Etienne is writing from Fumbot. Good evening to you, Shea. Good evening, Mr. Ku. My greetings to Chief Doctor and all the panelists on board. Just to mention at the introduction, the panelists forgot to mention a village that came into ISU from Furuawa subdivision, Kwep, a village in the late 90s who also speaks a different language from ISU dialect. Secondly, I want to join the panelists to say there is everything wrong with the SDO's outing. The SDO is not interested in who assassinated the phone, but is more interested in a new phone. I think it's being engineered somewhere by someone for reasons. Bonnie is writing from Boya, but the SDO says that 1 year is enough to mount the phone, and that the kingmakers ISU village is reminding them, kingmakers and notables of ISU village, for a sense of responsibility to facilitate the process of putting a new chief hitch free. 1 year is time enough to have mount the phone and for things to get back to normalcy?
If the phone had died had disappeared on a sick bed, would have said 1 year is even too much. But now by virtue of the circumstances under which he went home. It is not enough, it's not yet enough, because there's a lot of emotional healing that has to be done. Isu is in pain, so there's a lot of emotional healing. There's a lot of physical work that has to be done. I think by the end of this program, we will be making appeals on how we can go about this physical healing. I think in Isu, people don't, in Isu, like in any other grassfield fondoms, people don't indicate that they want to be kings. People are caught. People are taken by force and installed. The fon who just disappeared, his father tricked him into becoming a fon. He was living in Kumba, and the father just called him that, Abe, come. I'm saying this because I am the fon's biographer. When the son arrived, and when the father saw the son, the father asked the son that, do you want me to die? He said, no, daddy, why are you saying that? Do you want me to die? No, daddy. I wanted to be the fon of Isu. When the son turned to go to leave the door, people grabbed him. That's what happened. So in Isu, people don't indicate that they want to rule. They are taken by force. That's why we talk of the catching ceremony. If you are the sons of one man, the man says, come, I want to see you, and 5 of you come, he has already arranged with some people, and when the one he wants to be on the throne, he just said, go and get him. That is what happens. So that's one of the things that we said the SDO might have gone wrong. People don't apply. If anybody wants to apply, it means that the person, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that procedure. Now, let me, before we continue, let me try to put something in its correct context. Okay. Yes, our national president talked of certain things. I want to correct by saying that in the case of a third-class chief,
it's a divisional officer.
It's a divisional officer who does the consultative talks. And after doing that, the SDO now issues a prefectorial order. In the case of a second-class chief, it is the SDO who does the consultative talks. In 2008, it was the SDO Simo Patrick Kamsu who did the consultative talks. And when he does that, he now sends the minister who signs the decision. If the day Isu shall become a first-class fondom, it will be the minister to come and do the consultative talks. I think, Mr. Leo, thank you very much. Let's move ahead.
Yes, you say there is still need for a healing process in Isu, and that the people are still mourning. Is the SDO not aware of this? Is he not consulting with other chiefs like the fon of we have the fons in Womb and a host of others, because they themselves were taken aback when you go by this outing?
I cannot answer that for the SDO, but let me indicate that I don't think the SDO just sat in his office and decided to do that, because it is true that the divisional officer in Zua, there was some communication between the divisional officer in Zua and the authorities in Isu. The DO of Fungom in Zua sent some questionnaires. They were responded to by some authorities in Isu. So we don't know the responses that were made in those questionnaires that were now forwarded to the administration that might have instigated the SDO to come out with this communique. It is just, we are saying that something might have happened to warrant the SDO's outing. And besides, the SDO is like the boss of all the traditional rulers. He could also be worried. That why are my people just like that, staying quiet like that? And let us also look at the SDO's outing positively, because if he did not come out, we will not be here telling the world about Isu. If he did not come out, the kingmakers would not have written what they wrote. If that text did not come out, the chiefs of Israel wouldn't have written. The fonds of mention wouldn't have written. So this means that what the SDO did was not too correct, but let us look at the positive aspect. Because before the SDO came out with this, almost everybody was saying that, what type of issue is this? Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is saying anything. But now, after the SDO's outing, you now see the plethora of outings. The kingmakers have written, the chiefs have written, Ida has written, and then our fathers in mention have written. I think, let us look at it from another angle. Instead of just, we have condemned it enough. Let us now take it as a springboard to move
now
forward.
the phone is not there. He disappeared in very, very disturbing circumstances. How is the village being managed?
The village is being managed at 2 levels.
Okay.
2 levels. At the level of the entire Isu clan, as he said, there is a council. There is a council. At the level of the individual villages, like Kadzama, Tengari, Wineri, and so on, the traditional rulers have their councils and they are managing it. I think after the first 2 months, there was a village assembly, and it was agreed that that should be the system to adopt until the fund comes back. I think that is what is going on.